Ladies and gentlemen, it is the DJB Productions Network. It's That Way Cool Wrestling Show. My name is Danny J. Hit that notification bell down below. Hit the subscription bar so you can subscribe to the channel. Leave us some comments down below. We do want to hear from you. Got a special little presentation here. We are joined by friend of the show, the Tennessee Volunteer himself, Reno Riggins, everybody.
Hey, what's going on, Danny J?
What's going on? It's always good to have Reno on the show. Love having him on here. We wanted to bring him on. He's got a special event going on tonight. Reno, I'm going to give you the floor. You tell us all about what's going on tonight.
Sure. Well, tonight, I'll back this up to kind of preference this is that back in the from 2007 to about 2012, 13, I used to run a small little wrestling promotion here in Nashville, Tennessee called Showtime All-Star Wrestling. SAW was the abbreviation for it. And we're going to have a return tonight here in Nashville at the Nashville famous Troubadour Theater, which is in my background.
Oh, nice. Very nice here.
You can see it. As you can see, people are lining up early to get tickets.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
And so, so we're going to have a great event here tonight in Nashville. And like I said, it's the return. So you're going to see a lot of familiar faces that used to be with SAW years ago. And you're going to see some new faces, of course.
Right.
And it's going to be a big night of wrestling action. We're really looking forward to it. Here at the Nashville Troubadour Theater. It's our first time here at the Troubadour Theater, so we're very excited. They've been a gracious host thus far, and right now we're doing our load in. We're setting up the lights, setting up the ring, all the cameras, and making sure everything is going to be tip top for the wrestling fans here tonight. And who knows, we may tape the event and then broadcast it at a later date. We're still trying to figure out what our direction may be after that. But also too, after this, we're already in talks with some stations about having regular programming. I don't know if it'll just be internet programming or for broadcast television at this point. But there are talks currently for those possible things to happen. And so while I've got you here on the phone, I'm gonna read down, or if you'll be so kind to post the poster up there for
us. I
us.
shall for you right there. We got it up on it right now. You can see
I appreciate that. Some of the guys that are going to be here tonight is going to be, of course, Hammerjack, who is a long staple with our wrestling company for years. Damian Wayne, probably pound for pound, one of the best wrestlers in the entire country right now. And then, of course, in our main event, you're going to have Chase Stevens going against the Tokyo Monster Kahagas. Which ought to be a barn burner main event match anywhere in the country. So we're very excited to have these guys on the card with us, and we're going to see some new faces tonight, like I said. So hopefully the fans that come here tonight, we're expecting a sellout crowd. The pre-sale has been absolutely just mind-blowing. That such a reaction to our wrestling promotion. And then the people here in Nashville, years ago when we had, Showtime All-Star Wrestling, for a small independent promotion, we drew very, very well. And so now we're thinking we're going to be able to revive that and hopefully have a great night of wrestling action here tonight. If you'll bear with me, I'm going to walk you through the event, or walk you through the Troubadour Theater real quick.
All right,
like I said, we're here in Nashville, Tennessee, so you can't go anywhere without seeing someone picking a guitar. So it just comes with the territory. If you move here to Nashville, I think they hand you a guitar at the county line and say welcome. So as you can see, we're practicing the national anthem, but I'm gonna spin the camera around and talk and show you guys what I'm talking about here.
Sounds good.
The Nashville Troubadour Theater.
This is awesome.
As you can see, they've quite a bit of country music stars have performed at the Troubadour Theater over the years, and it's a historic place. So if you're ever in Nashville, you always want to stop by here. Stop in. You never know who's going to be on the stage picking a guitar, and just walk over here to the bar and get you a cold beverage.
Yes.
And sit back, get your heels up, and enjoy yourself a little bit. And I'm going to walk into the arena here. As you can see, it's absolutely beautiful.
Wow, that's
Uh,
deceivingly big.
yeah, this is going to be a nice setup here. Of course, you can walk over here, not miss any of the action, and get a beverage or two.
Yes.
Right here, as you can see, they've got the jumbotron going already. I've been adjusting some lights, got the ring set up, and I tell you, I'm going to walk up here to the where our hard camera shot will be for the event.
Nice.
So that kind of give everybody a bird's eye view of what's going to be going on here tonight.
Very good.
At the Troubadour Theater. Just bear with me. Like I said, it's going to have plenty of seating for all of our wrestling fans. And
if I may say, this is a lot like the 2300 arena, the former ECW arena. It looks a lot like that.
Yes, I would agree. This is we got a balcony, we got a VIP section over here to our left, and it just kind of gives you just a full pan of this place right here, which is absolutely beautiful. The folks here at the Troubadour Theater have been very welcoming to myself and the staff here. We had a load in at 9 this morning, and
that's a nice view.
This is an absolute beautiful venue.
Yeah.
Whether you're here to see wrestling or whether you're here to see country music or whatever they have on Sundays, they have cowboy church. So you can come have cowboy church on Sunday. So always something fun for everybody here at the Troubadour Theater. And like I said, this is going to be the first time that Showtime All-Star Wrestling has been here at the Troubadour, and we're expecting, like I said, a sellout crowd, and ticket sales have been just this. As soon as we advertised it, they started flying off the shelf. So they were moving tickets was a nice thing to see. That lets you know that you're appreciated by the wrestling community and the fans here of Nashville, Tennessee.
Now, before we went on the air, you were saying before that it's been a little while since you promoted in here. Has any other promotion been promoting inside there as well, or is this the first time?
First.
Okay, so this is like the first wrestling show that they're seeing in a long while.
Oh yeah. This is the first. This is the first Showtime All-Star Wrestling event that has happened in 10 years.
Wow.
And this is the very first time that the Troubadour Theater has ever had professional wrestling as well. So we're hoping that it becomes a good partnership down the road for the wrestling community. There is a lot of wrestling fans that have been kind of responding to us that they're looking forward to it, and we're excited. I think we've got a good group of talent that will be performing here tonight. And looking forward to just a big night of wrestling action. Like I said, and wrestling is like, it's for me, it's like one of those things when every time I hang the boots up or hang the promotional hat up or whatever, and then all of a sudden I get that call that, oh my goodness, I've got to get back in this game. It's when it's in your blood, it's in your blood, and you can't. You just it's like the mafia, you think you think you're out, but then you get sucked right back in.
Yes, absolutely.
And, I want to make a mention too for one of my business partners, Big Tim Thomas, and his mother passed away a few months ago, and really Timmy has been very instrumental for this evening to happen. He called me up and said, "Hey, what do you think about getting the band back together?"
Right.
I said, I don't know. I've got a lot going. I've got 2 sons that drive me crazy, taking them to ball practice and whatnot, and all these other events that they're doing. And so I talked with them about it, and they says, "Yeah, Dad, you ought to do it." And Timmy said, he says, "I kind of need to do this more as therapy than anything, And I said, "Well, let's do it then, So and you see Big Timmy. I don't know if you can see him right now, but he's walking across the right of my screen there. Yes. But he kind of needed to treat this kind of more of therapy, and kind of because Timmy's behind the scenes. He does all the filming, he does all the editing, and he said he just needed to release some of his creative juices or release that energy, into wrestling. And I couldn't think of a better therapy because those of us that do this, get it
Yes.
and understand.
Yes.
And
It's
those
true.
that don't, I mean, but whatever your thing is, whether it's music or art, or if you can't release that creative
Yeah.
energy,
Yeah.
it drives you absolutely nuts. And so Big Timmy, as you see him walking across the screen there, this is hopefully going to be a big night for him as well. And like I said, we've got a lot of young talent that's going to be
Right.
donning the ring tonight, and we got some old grizzled, experienced veterans. So I think the folks here in Nashville are going to be very entertained and very surprised with the level of talent that's going to be stepping in the ring tonight.
Well, there's nothing more therapeutic than a good ass whooping. I mean,
I tell you what, and I might turn some people off by saying this, but I miss the old days, because it seems like you could say the slightest thing and offend somebody today. But I miss the old days when
Yeah.
I used to offend people, and I didn't mind. And if they had a problem with it, I didn't mind slapping the taste out of their mouth either.
There you go.
And so tonight we're going to try to bring back a little bit of that.
See, there you go.
It's
something. I'll tell you, there's something about Southern wrestling.
Oh,
and that it just there's no, I guess, tougher thing. And I grew when I first started watching wrestling. I mean, I started watching wrestling with the WWE and WWF and etc. And then when Jim Crockett Promotions came into the market, and now I got a taste of the Carolinas. I was like, oh my God, is this like night and day? And these guys really are kicking the shit out of somebody. You know what I mean? And I'm like, oh my Lord. And as a kid, I was like, like my dad worked a lot as a kid. So I looked up to a lot of wrestlers. And it's funny, we had this conversation, me and my wife, the other day. She said, not for anything, and not that you try to do this, but she's saying to me, the way you perceive yourself is not unlike Ric Flair. And I said, that's because I grew up watching Ric Flair, and Flair was my standard point of saying, if you're going to be a man, this is what you have to be like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so Southern wrestling always had a special, special place in my heart. And when you come on the show, I love when you come on the show, because it's like everything just floods open. This retro 1986 comes back in. You know what I mean? And it's an amazing thing. And I just love that you guys are doing this. I think it's a beautiful arena. Are they planning on having any kind of music while you guys are doing the show or anything like that?
No, we're not. I mean, it's just going to be strictly a wrestling event.
Okay.
Maybe down the road, we may have some country music folks get involved with us here. Matter of fact, a year or so ago, I was at a micro wrestling event with the with the little folks, and I'm sitting there at a table, and I'm sitting next to this gentleman, very nice guy, and he's there with his group, and they were having a good party, and I was sitting there with my group, and we're just enjoying the micro wrestling event.
Yeah.
And so we're sitting there, and of course, not that I'm of any notoriety or anything, but if I'm sitting in the crowd in a wrestling community, some folks actually know who I am, believe it or not. Usually people don't recognize me until I'm laying on my back, and then they go, oh yeah, I remember that guy. But so I'm sitting there, and folks are coming up and asking for a picture or asking for an autograph, which, I don't care who you are. That just makes you feel good,
Oh yeah.
And so this guy, towards the end of the night, he said, excuse me, he says, I don't, mean to be rude or anything, but he says, there's been a lot of people come up and ask for photos and autographs and things like that. And he goes, who are you? And I told him, I said, well, I had a cup of coffee in the WWE, and I wrestled as Reno Riggins for WWE and WCW and all over the world for a while and whatnot. And he was, man, that's great, man. That's great. And I get to talk to him. I said, well, what do you do? He goes, I got a little farm, about 30 miles from here or whatever. And I said, oh man, that's great. I said, well, what's your name? He goes, well, my name's Tracy Lawrence. Well, Tracy Lawrence is a big country music star, right? I didn't know, but once I kind of put two and two together, I know who he is. I got the guy's album, So in Nashville, you never know who you're going to be rubbing elbows with.
That's crazy.
And I think at some point, once if we can have a successful night and a couple of things kind of turn our way, then I believe, we probably could get some country music folks involved with what we're doing here, and maybe have a little bit of a country rock and wrestling happen here in the Music City,
If I may, your story is very reminiscent of something that happened to me. I was heavily drinking, and I was at a country bar, and it was
Imagine that.
imagine that, and it was a country line dancing and whatnot. And towards the end of the night, they roped off a certain section. And me being inebriated, I thought, well, there must be a leak in the ceiling or something like that. And they don't want anybody over there, right?
Right.
So I get ready to leave, and I bump into this little person, and I look dead in their face. I said, man, what an ugly woman. Reno, that ugly woman was Marty Stewart.
Oh my goodness.
He had just got done at the Valley Forge Music Center out here in Pennsylvania. He just got done doing a show. He came out for a couple beers. I bumped shoulders with him, and I look right in his face, and I call him an ugly woman, and I walk out.
Yeah.
I had no idea who it was.
I tell you what, Marty Stewart was on a flight with me once. Me and Barry Horowitz.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So me and Barry Horowitz are on a flight, and we are sitting there. Next thing you know, we recognize, there's Marty Stewart. Of course, Barry was a lot bigger country music star, or a lot bigger country music fan than I was.
Yeah.
But he said, "Hey, that's Marty Stewart." So he's sitting there. So I walk over on the plane, and I said, "Hey, you Marty Stewart?" He goes, "Yeah." I says, "You better sing us the song or you're going to get your ass kicked." And he looked at us real crazy, like, oh my goodness, but he was super, super nice. He got to cutting up and joking with us and laughing. And he's a normal dude like we all are. He just happens to do an extraordinarily thing, for a living, and which is amazing. And so a lot of people are that way. If you just, approach them, and hey, they're just regular folk. They just just getting by. But getting back to our wrestling, just want to wrap this up with you real quick, because they're still hollering at me. I got 1,000 things to do today, but just want to let everybody know that might be watching or see this Saturday night here, October 1st, at the Nashville Troubadour Theater. Doors open at 7:30. Tickets are 10 and 15. That's very reasonable in this economy.
Mm-hmm.
And we're hoping to pack this place out, standing room only, and get ready for a big night of Southern wrestling.
All right, if you could run down the card from top to bottom.
Sure. Let me get out here and run that down for you real quick.
I have the flyer up, but I want you to, if you could, run down, when everybody know what's going on here. And
sure. Okay, get my eyeballs on. We're going to have Gus Money De La Vega. He's going to be taking on Damian Adams.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, me and the legendary Tony Falk, we're going to be just making an appearance and shaking some hands, kissing babies, and running for mayor, of course.
There you go.
Jeremiah Plunkett and Alex Taylor, they're going to be in the house tonight. LT Falk, which is Tony's son, who's been a wrestler now for probably the last 15 or better years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Buckshot Red. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Shotgun Red, who used to be the puppet on the Nashville Now network. That's his son. He's one of the biggest comedians, not only here in Nashville, but in the South.
Right.
He's going to be making an appearance tonight. Hammerjack will be here. Christian Adams will be here. And, of course, in our main event is going to be Chase Stevens, the Natural, taking on the Tokyo Monster Cahagas, which this right there is a main event anywhere in the country.
Yes.
And it's going to be right here tonight at the Nashville Troubadour Theater. Like I said, doors will open up at 6:30. Bell time's at 7:30. Tickets are 10 and 15. Like I said, very affordable to bring the whole family out. I'm sorry, 20 and 15. But bring the whole family out for a night of wrestling action here at the Troubadour Theater. Not a bad seat in the house, I might add.
No.
In the house.
Not from what you showed us. And let me tell you something, folks. I mean, this is a family fun event. So don't think that you need to keep the kids away and stuff like that. I brought my kids to wrestling. Even when I wrestled, I brought them there, and they got to see their daddy get slapped around a little bit. I mean, it's all in fun. It's a great thing. And it obviously is a great arena for you to be able to see stuff, and not for anything too. Like you said, Reno, there's a lot of history in this arena, aside from wrestling, there's just a lot of a lot of great. Look at that view. That's a great view of wrestling right there.
Yeah,
You know, I mean,
this right here is where our sponsors will sit tonight. They'll
yeah.
catch them coming off the stage, and then right there is the ring. And for that ticket price, I mean, you can't go wrong. It's going to be, like I said, a great night of wrestling action. There's going to be I already know this, some memorable matches that's going to happen in this ring here tonight. The magic will happen here at the Nashville Troubadour Theater.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Reno, once again, sir, I always love having you on the show. He's a great friend of That Way Cool Wrestling Show. We off the air, we were saying, I said, you hopefully you have your gear in the trunk just in case something happens. You're going to have to jump in. Going to have to jump in.
Yeah, I have two sons, and neither one of them has ever seen me in the ring live.
Get out.
Yeah. Yeah, I was already retired from wrestling but hey, you never know. You never know.
That's right. I took my kids just to see something before I had to go DJ, and the guy said, "Hey, you got your stuff in the truck?" I said, "Yes, I do." He said, "I need you in the battle royal in the first match. I'll get you up so you can go DJ." Let me tell you,
right.
I got slapped around, and when I went to go DJ, I couldn't even lift my speakers up. I said, "What the hell am I doing?" Like an asshole. But you know what? Hey guys, I wish you all the best out there. I'm glad you guys are able to do wrestling. Go see this. I'm going to put this up one more time. I'm going to put up the flyer real quick here. This is SAW, SAW. Okay. And this is tonight. The bell time is 7:30. Doors will open at 6:30. Great ticket prices. All right. And this is a great family fun event. If you're looking for something to do, let me tell you something. There's nothing more exciting than this. Then go get some pizzas or something afterwards. It's a great time for everybody. And you'll get the hobnob with some legends in this business. Not for anything, man. I'm telling you, Reno, don't let Reno fool you. He's a very humble man, but he's been around for a long time, man. The volunteer's been in this business for a long, long time. And as a person who's relatively the same age as him, I remember this guy from when I was a kid. So, I mean, like he's been doing this a long, long time. Okay. Guys, I want to thank Reno. I want to thank you for coming on today. I wish you all the best tonight. And everybody out there, God bless all of them in their matches tonight and wish them to be safe and all. And guys, check out, is there a website that they can go to as well, Reno, or no?
There is, however, off the top of my head, I do not know it.
Okay, there you go. See, that's what concussions do. You see what I'm saying?
Way too many concussions, right?
My man, Reno Riggins, guys, the Tennessee Volunteer. He's putting on a show tonight. He's going to be out there kissing babies and all that other stuff. So please don't call the cops. Don't call the cops on him. All right, let him do his thing. Guys, until next time, we will see you at the matches. Have a great day, everybody.